Hey guys, Michael the DC Multiverse Collector here, really pumped to be bringing you this review of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dick Grayson Batman. Now from the very first moment this figure was revealed, I was super excited for a lot of reasons. I could see he had a cloth cape, he's using that awesome Nightfall Batman body buck, the art style matches perfectly with the Batman Reborn comic book art. There was just a lot on paper and in photos that looked really great, and seeing this guy in hand, I think he may just well live up to the potential, but let's find out. Now, this guy's been out in the United States for quite some time. I've been looking forward to him for, a month or two since the first photos were revealed. He's finally here, hitting Australian shores. Big thank you to McFarlane Toys and Head Start Toys for providing me with this sample for review. And if you're looking to pick this guy up, have a look at all of our local Aussie online retailers, my favourite of which is Green Rock Comics. Free shipping over $100, great range, great customer service, give them a go. Now, let's keep looking at this awesome looking figure. On the side of the box, you will see it's Batman from Batman Reborn. Now, this is when Dick Grayson becomes Batman as part of the sort of like Batman Battle for the Cowl storyline, so that's really cool. And on the back of that box, we've got that awesome artwork of Dick Grayson, Damian Wayne freshly becoming Robin. This is sort of where Damian comes into the picture. Grant Morrison does his thing. Really awesome art. And I can tell just by looking at this art that McFarlane has done a great job of capturing the spirit and likeness of Dick Grayson as Batman. So before we get this guy opened up and see how awesome he really is, quick favour to ask you, do you mind liking this video? Save it to the end of the video if you want to withhold judgment, but maybe subscribe if you haven't. I know a lot of my viewers aren't subscribers, and that's fine. I can't force you to subscribe, but I can ask really nicely, would you please subscribe for me? That'd really help me out. And if you can click that little notification bell, that means you'll actually get told by YouTube when I put out a new video, and it gets more eyeballs on my stuff, which allows me to make more stuff. So yeah, that'd be really awesome. Now, with all of that preamble out of the way, let's get Dick out of the box. Okay, so here's everything you get in the box, laid out on the table, and as you can see, it's not the sort of most generous spread of accessories we've ever got. You'll see we get the boring standard display stand, thin, basic, but nice to have. We also get the collector's card. Here you see that lovely Frank Quitely art, looks very nice, and on the back you have the data file for Dick Grayson in the Batman Reborn story, so that's really nice. And you'll see we get a pair of gripping hands, very standard, but of course he has nothing to grip. You might be able to outfit him with a batarang or a grappling gun from another Batman figure, but it's a shame that there's nothing for him to grip out of the box. So yeah, bit weird. And he also comes with some gesture hands, which are always nice to have. I like these, they allow for a bit of dramatic flair and personality. But yeah, that's it, otherwise we just get the figure. So I think we could have done with a little bit more in terms of accessories, but for the price point it's probably fair enough. Maybe just one weapon, one accessory for him to use those gripping hands on, and I think we would be in good territory. Let's have a look at the figure itself though. Now, I think this figure is a masterclass in elegance and simplicity. There's not a huge amount going on here, really. This is the Batman Nightfall body buck. Let me bring it in. Here it is. It's a modified version of this body buck. You'll see the cuts are different on the torso. Obviously it doesn't have the sculpted logo. Dick's bat symbol is painted on there quite crisply and beautifully, but otherwise in most respects this is just a reuse. You'll see that the belt is obviously different, and of course there are some other small differences. For example, the gauntlets, you'll see they have a different design, which is really nice, and the upper arms on the whole look different. So we've got new upper arms and gauntlets, we've got a new belt, we've obviously got a new cloth cape, and the upper torso has been reconfigured, and obviously the head is different. So this is kind of like the optimal reuse in my opinion. It takes a really solid buck, the fundamentals, the proportions, and uses them to great effect, and introduces a whole bunch of new sculpting that fits the figure in question and makes it unique and a special sort of proposition. So great reuse of an already awesome buck, probably my favorite buck in the McFarlane Batman sort of range. Some people love the Hush Batman body buck. He's nice and big and tall and buff, but I really love this one. I think it's got a nice mixture of musculature and also sort of a live athleticism. Worked really well for Nightfall. Some people say Dick should maybe be a little bit skinnier than this, but I don't know, man. Like, I think this looks really good. And I would actually love a Nightwing that uses this physique. I think Nightwing would look amazing on this body. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments if maybe this is too buff for Dick Grayson. I think it's perfect. That's just me. But anyway, aesthetically speaking, this is just so elegant. The grey is just a really, really nice shade of medium grey. Not too light, not too dark. In my opinion, it's just right. That Nightfall body buck has just a beautiful amount of sculpted detail. The creases here, along the abdominals, along the sort of the thigh area. It's just a really nice mix of simple, but with a bit of detail just to give it some life. I love that. This gold belt is just gorgeous. The gold paint really pops, and it makes this figure sort of unique, and it's like a focal point. It draws your eye. You know, your eye's drawn to the head, the bat symbol, and the belt, and I think they just look tremendous. What else do I like? I really, really like these hands that he's got here with like the bat knuckle dusters. They're really cool. That's something unique. I quite like that. And I also have some thoughts about this head sculpt. Let's bring it in here. What do you think about that, guys? I think that is a beautiful, beautiful representation of the Frank Quitely art. Some people say it makes him look like an old man, or it doesn't quite match the artwork. I just disagree. And you know, everyone will have a different opinion. This is subjective. But I think McFarlane has done an awesome job, and this really captures the look of Dick Grayson Batman, in my opinion. Maybe he's just got slightly harsh edges. Maybe, I don't know. But I think, no, I take it back. This guy looks awesome. It's a great head sculpt, and it really differentiates it from Bruce Wayne Batman, and I really like it. It's so crisp. Those eyes are just narrow slits. I really love that. I like the expression. Yeah, it's really, really nice, in my opinion. The ears are great. Yeah, good stuff all around. Like I said, that bat symbol is just gorgeously printed on there. No muss, no fuss, no bleeding. Looks really, really good. You'll see these butterfly filler pieces here fill the hole nicely, so you're not left with unsightly gaps. It's just a beautifully done figure. Like, the fundamentals are so rock solid. The only thing I can ping this figure for, guys, is this cloth cape. And I really love cloth capes. I think they're just so much more fun for posing, for display, for playability, everything. But I'm just not a fan of this starchy material that McFarlane has been using lately. They've used it for a few figures, the Adam West Batman being a notable one. I really love it when they use that softer material, that softer, more canvassy, cottony fabric. They used it for the Cassandra Cain Batwoman. They used it for the Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman. So they are using a softer cape in some circumstances, but they haven't used it here, and they're not using it recently, and I don't know why, because this starchy stuff just doesn't hang that well. Like, it just doesn't have a great look to it. It just doesn't, I don't know. It's not that much fun to pose. It's a bit stiff, but you know, having said that, you can still get some really cool looks with this guy, and the wire in this cape is nice and strong and stiff, so you can get it to do whatever you want. You can get it to flare out, you can get it to sort of cover him a little bit. So the potential is there to get some really cool poses out of this figure, but I find if you just want him to sort of like sit in him like or stand in a neutral pose, this cape is just a little bit stiff and starchy, and it all just sort of hangs back here really unnaturally. So you have to work with it. You have to take some time to really fold it in and get it nice. You know, I don't know. It just could be better, I think, if they used a different material. I don't know if this is a budgetary thing or it's just they think this is the better option. But, you know, assuming that money's no object, I really would recommend that McFarlane Toys gets back to that softer cape material. I just think it works so much better for posing and just hangs so much more naturally. In terms of articulation, you've seen this guy before. It's Nightfall Batman. He kicks out really well. Double jointed knees, pivot, rocker, toe, articulation. It's all the standard stuff. He does the splits just fine. Arms go out really far, double jointed elbows. The wrists are on that standard sculpted ball joint, but the way they're sculpted here and the way the ball sits deep in there means you kind of can't get too much articulation in the wrist. So that's a bit limited by virtue of the sculpt, but it's okay. Diaphragm, that much forward, that much back. The head is an interesting one. It's on the ball joint like normal. You just don't get that much play. You get side to side pretty good, but he doesn't look down that far. and he doesn't look up that much, but like I think it's more than enough. And I actually think that the head tilt is the most important part, because that gives him some sort of sass and personality, so I like that. There's obviously a cut at the diaphragm, and look, there is rotation at the waist, but I think the way the belt is there, it'll actually prohibit the articulation. So I don't think you're going to get much at the waist, but you get a good amount at the diaphragm. So that's good. This guy moves just about as good as you can expect, with some limitations, more than enough for the standard display options that you'd want with a Batman. Some athletic poses. Yeah, you're going to be able to get this guy in just about any pose you could reasonably want and expect from a McFarlane figure. So yeah, guys, Dick Grayson Batman is a winner. Aesthetically, I love it. And yeah, if it wasn't for that cape, if this cape was just a little bit better, this would be an instant top 5 of the year. It still might be top 5 of the year. That's how much I like it. It's just going to look really awesome on a shelf. And when that Damian Wayne figure comes out, the Page Punches Damian, that matches the quietly cover art of Batman Reborn, it's going to look so awesome posed next to this guy. I cannot wait. So yeah, Dick Grayson Batman, huge winner in the line. For such a simple figure, it packs a huge punch. Alright, so let's kick off some comparisons, starting with a Bruce Wayne Batman and a Damian Wayne Robin. Now, of course, on the left, we have the very classic Hush Batman in the blue and grey, which is one of my favourite Batman figures, and I think proportionately in terms of size and scale, he goes really well with this Dick Grayson Batman. They kind of have the right scale relative to each other. Hush Batman is bigger, taller, buffer, and looks really good next to Dick. And of course, then we have Damian Wayne Robin. Now, this is not my preferred look for Damian, especially with Dick. I think the forthcoming Page Punches Damian Wayne will go perfectly, and that will be the figure I pose next to this Batman. But look, if you've got the previous version of Damian Wayne, I think he will look great nonetheless. Okay, and now for a sausage party, we have the Dick group shot. From left to right, we have young Dick, then we have Teen Titans Dick, then we have Dick Grayson as Batman, then we have Wave 1 Eskrima Sticks Dick, and then we've got Disco Dick. So these are just a few of the Dick Grayson Nightwing figures, Robin figures we've got over the years. We're amassing quite a collection of Dicks, I think, and there's probably some that I'm missing. I don't have the red Dick, and certainly soon we will have the red suited Dick from the Court of Owls 3-pack, so keep an eye out for that Dick. I'll review that Dick when I get it. But as for this Dick, it is clearly rock solid. It's got that awesome Nightfall body buck that we know and love with the excellent sculpted detail and good articulation, but it's also got some nice embellishments that make it unique. The gold utility belt, the new forearms, the great head sculpt, the cloth cape. It's just a really compelling offering. It strikes a really nice silhouette. It captures the art style brilliantly. I do wish that the cape had been made of a more soft, pliable material that flows a little better, but that's a nitpick. I think overall, if you have any affinity for great Batman figures or Dick Grayson in general, this is a must buy. It's certainly creeping up towards the top 10 of all figures for the year. It may be in the top 10, let's see, possibly top 5. I love it. McFarlane has nailed it. I think maybe it's an accessory short of perfection, but for what we get for the price, I think it's really, really good, and I think you should buy it. So yeah, that's all from me. If this video has been helpful, entertaining, or informative, why not give it a like? And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. In the meantime, friends, happy collecting, and thank you so much for watching.